This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
That peace against the walls of Babylon shall escape the wrath I come to pour. And I shall burn them and burn them continuously, for they never cease to oppress the poor.
Talking Heads with Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, Jazz in the Gardens, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, Collect, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Island Games, Pindotal, Prince Masters, and Tropical Gyros.
But still I fear no foe, no. Cause now is not the time to sleep or turn the other cheek. Cause the wicked in a Babylon stew ya if you're weak. Whoa, plead my cause, oh Jah, and let me stand firm.
And good afternoon, good day. Sure happy it's Friday, TGI Friday. Good day, everybody. This Pearly in the house on a Talking Heads Friday. Here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. So good to be here with you again today. 3 times for the week. I could get used to this, I wonder if you can. But you know what? Before we get started, you got to become Talking Heads. You got to help me out today. This is the Naughty Says we do weekend review on Friday. So here's how you become a Talking Head.
Here's how you can become a Talking Head. Brought to you by BTC.
And it's so easy. All you do is pick up your phone, and you call me at 323-6232. That's 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4316, or 325-4259, 325-4259. Always call me toll free, 242-300-5720. And of course, if you're a little shy about being on radio, you can text me. It's powered by BTC. That's 422-4796. Text me at 422-4796. Yes, it's Friday. Starting to come in. Oh, yeah, man, this is going to be a wonderful end of February. But what's going on in the headlines?
It's time for Headliners. Everything that's making headlines in the 242. Brought to you by the Fine Threads.
I swear a lot of this stuff we can't make up in our good country. Headlines in the Guardian today. Mitchell defends government rehires. There is a shortage of labor. The Bahamas signs a $200 million infrastructure agreement with Afro-XM Bank. Afro-XM Bank. Okay. Wilson calls rehires policy disgraceful. DEPP released bronze baseline report on SpaceX booster landing. Over in the business section, and I said again, DPP releases bronze baseline report on SpaceX booster landings, impact to land use, water quality, biological resources, air quality, noise quality, energy, and these aesthetics are negligible. Risk to persons in Bahamas at 4 in 1 million, well below FAA regulatory threshold of 149 in 1 million. Whatever that means. Ministry of Finance, December 24th, revenue estimated at 253.1 million. And Winter Broham Trust Company lists LFP Venture Energy Smart Fund on BISX. Atlantis to pay fired casino workers $120K for wrongful and unfair dismissal. Wow. So what's going on? This has been an interesting week. And just before we get a little more housekeeping to do, let's get into these couple of announcements here. There we go. Collect. The Bear of the Bahamas invites you to Victory Saturday, March 1st at Smugglers Square for an epic celebration of the 2024 Boxing Day and 2025 New Year's Day Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars. The Junkanoo season may be over, but the celebration is just getting started. Enjoy music by players DJs Lil Giant and DJ Tank, the greatest, and performing live Fanshaw and D-Mac. Let's celebrate the 4 straight Junkanoo winners, Saxon superstars. And don't forget, everybody, Monday, 242 Day, on Monday, February 24th, this and every 24th of February, the 24th day of the second month, get it, 242, show your Bahamian pride, fly your Bahamian flag, wear Bahamas flag colors, eat Bahamian foods, create and listen to Bahamian music, donate in sequences of 242, do something 242 times or 2.42 times, etc., you know. Merchants consider pricing items of $2.42 or $24.20 or $242, etc. Just like that. Let's just have some fun on Monday and let's get with the 242, okay? Yeah, man, yeah. Interesting week. Very interesting week. And I see this headline this morning, and I got to take exception to this because I've been asking around, doing a little bit of research on these 400 and some, almost 500 people that the government brought back. Somebody, and I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, you could correct me, but I guess they brought back, or many people at the level of permanent secretary, that's the $150,000 a year, people. I mean, and let's think about it now. If you retire as a PS, you get your pension as your full salary. So that's $104,000, they say the salary is. So that means you're getting your pension of $104,000, you're getting your salary of $104,000, plus another $50,000 in perks and all that. That's on. And if you had vacation, if you was on vacation, you had to pay me for my vacation. Man. And listen, I don't have a problem if there is a labor shortage. I don't have a problem bringing some people back, nurses, doctors, teachers, where there's a need. But you send home a bunch of people. You send home, must see, but 6 or more directors. They getting their salary and they sitting home twiddling their thumbs and there's a labor shortage? Or they your people? Is that what it is? So I just want to be, you know, come on, man. If we let's just forget the politics, because it's all about that. It's all about that, and I understand you want your people in place. I understand that. Yes, I do. But don't do on us and tell me that's rain. Because if there's a labor shortage, then why you send some people home? Why just sign them somewhere else to do some other work? If there's a real labor shortage, be bringing high-ranking people in. That's what it is. Be telling the ones who done pay their dues for the last days that, hey, you ain't good enough to be a permanent secretary. We got to bring these fellas back. That's an insult to them, isn't it? I mean, just make me understand this. You know. Boy. Text. Good day, Pearlie. Did you see the solar farm picture I sent you yesterday? Actually, I did not see it. I have to apologize. Send it to me again, please. I'll make it a point. Okay? But back to, come on, man. Make me understand. Where is there a shortage? But you send people home. Where's that? I just need to understand that. You're not bringing in retired teachers where there's a shortage in English, or maybe math teachers or science teachers. Are they? I don't know. Are we doing what we're supposed to do? Probably this another loan, that's over $2 billion by this administration. That's $6 billion borrowed in the 3 terms the PLP served in governance and over $2.8 billion collected in VAT. Shut down this country. Nothing is productive by this government. Poor governance and poor representation with 25% of accountability to the public fund. But you all hot today. You all hot today. Really, I need Pinto to talk hard on the 500 people that came back. I think everybody needs to talk hard on that, to be honest with you. They give you your welcome back letter as yet? No. I ain't in that group. I'm not in that group. They did not welcome me back. I got a letter telling me to go home on the 23rd of September, 2021. And then officially, I think I got fired at the end of September. And it didn't bother me because I understand the game that is being played, if you want to use that terminology. But don't tell me we have a labor shortage when you all send people home. When these people could have done the job just as well, but because you don't like what color shirt they wear, you don't want them on the job. Are we ever going to get out of that type lifestyle? Not lifestyle, that type thinking? Listen, if I'm the government and I win, I gonna want my people in key positions, yes, to make sure that my mandate, the things I promised the Bahamian people, are carried out right. But I expect if you're a public servant, you serve the government of the day, regardless of how you voted the day before or the election before. So I can't, but if you want to say, listen, I want my financial controller of this corporation to be my people, okay, fine. But don't just send that one home. Give him another job somewhere else. Because he's got a family or she's got a family, doesn't she? But if you do that, but anyway, kind of thinking soon, hopefully we'll understand that the Bahamas is for all Bahamians. And that irregardless of who's in charge, you got to take care of all Bahamians. And like I said, I understand you got to take care of your people. I fully understand that. Really, that's the solar farm. Okay. Great show as usual, Pearlie. You forgot to mention Monday is the day off and the 23rd falling this, and the 023 fall this morning. Boy, I tell you, running that tonight. You really want to talk numbers on you? But Monday is 242 day. I'm going to be in I done get my Bahamian shape that I can be pimping. And I can have corned beef and grits for breakfast. And I can have me some fried snapper for lunch. And I can have me something, I don't know yet, but I can have me something decent for dinner. I can have my Bahamian music playing. Oh, I want Gova Duff too, yeah. I can have my Bahamian music playing. And I can enjoy 242 day. I can play that one to the hilt. I'm going to play that one to the hilt. So what else been going on this week? I see some bills, some anti-corruption bills or some bills passed that supposed to make the senior people of the armed forces and members of parliament accountable. That going to be carried out? What are the bills that we need to pass? Did they ever sign off on the marijuana bill? I know it passed, but has it been signed into law or anything like that? Or are they still waiting? And are we having these things come to the House of Assembly? And we have these bills are passing, but are they being enacted into law? Are they being annexed? Is the Governor General signing off on them? Or we just passing these and stacking them up on the side till they feel like bringing them out? That would be interesting to know. Because do we ever, and I call it on the media, do we ever follow up on these things that are passed and see that they're enacted? Or we just say, oh, the House met today and they passed this bill and then move on, and we don't ever know if the bill is put in place? Because what's going on with the marijuana bill? Earlier in the week, you said the Prime Minister said the Pike deal it should be announced, the deal should be announced. Then they said about the hotel in Grand Bahama, the airport. Are we just lip servicing? Let me know what you think. Are we lip servicing? Are we just doing whatever we feel like doing? Are we listening? But I heard a lot of people today, and just general people, not in conversations that I had. I'm just in the store, in the gas station, just sitting there, sitting small, waiting for my name to call and listening. A lot of people upset about the 500 people that were hired, and I don't know if the minister got the response that she wanted or it came across the way she wanted to come. People pissed. A lot of people out there want to know what's going on, but we'll see. Caller, you on the air. How you doing?
Well,
hey.
What's happening?
Hey, right there, brother. What you saying?
I am convinced. A great man named Pearls always say, if you want me to vote for you or you want me to follow you or whatever, show me what you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
Okay? So let's put the other party out what they've been to the table and bring nothing yet.
Okay.
And let's focus on the two parties we've been bringing now for 51 years, 7 months, and 2 weeks. What we bring to the table? If you could help me, because you got to know something about these two.
What you mean what they bring to the table?
Right.
What they've done for the Bahamas? A lot of things. I mean, credit. No, ain't no stammering now. Don't try that. Credit where credit due. And both governments, both the PLP governments and the FN, have done some good for this country. Have they done bad? Yes. But they've done a lot of good for this country.
I think that's you answering. We may not go into and identify singly item by item what they do good and what they did bad. But we got something what they bring to the table, eh?
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, if we sit down and we believe Mr. Fred Mitchell, the nonsense and the lies they telling us about this one, children school fee and all that, and we believe in that crap really, something got to be wrong with us, because guess what?
Okay.
This ain't the first time the Mitchell group been in there for 5 years. This ain't the first time the other group been in there for 5 years. And every 5 years, we got to bring back this one and bring back that one, because we got skills gap and all that kind of gap.
Then what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to
What
put?
we need to be doing if we make it up our mind how we can save our country.
So who we supposed to put in place of them too? I know where you're going, so
listen, I put you too slick. I put that party aside. I focus on them yet. But now, my question to you, Pearly, is,
yes, sir.
what's with all these X's? You got FTX. You got XM Bank. Now you got SpaceX.
All kind of X.
What kind of X coming up next?
The X you need the Mark next coming up.
Oh, yeah. That's another X. But anyway, buddy, thanks for taking my call.
You good, Jen. I like you, man. I like when you call. Take care, my brother. Have a good weekend. He tried to get me to say something the other day. And I said, you know, when he said, I said, let me ask him the same thing he tried to get me. We can have that conversation soon. We're going to have that conversation about alternatives soon. And we can weigh the issues, you know, as to, is Peter better than Paul, or we need to look at John? And what does John bring to the table? Or what does that next person bring to the table other than grandstanding and stuff like that? Do we have a real plan? But I was saying, like, a lot of people are upset and don't like the idea that you bring back a lot of retirees. And what I'm hearing, and I could be wrong, I could get wrong information, and I stand corrected, that a lot of the people are high-end people. Some are permanent secretaries and directors levels and stuff like that. Key people for this government, or the people who run in this government. Key people who collecting their pension, collecting this big salary and all the perks. I know when the F&M is in power, there's either you get your pension money or you get your salary, but you can't get both. And some people think that was wrong. No, why you could double dip? Now, if you want to say, I getting a small pension and you giving me a small salary to put the two together to make up for what level of salary I should be getting if I'm consulting or working in that position, then let's talk about that. But don't tell me a PS making $80,000 to $100,000 in pension, because you get, I understand when PS go, they get their, and I correct me if I'm wrong, they get their pension as their full salary. Their full salary is their pension. So you collecting, let's say it's $100,000, you collecting that. And then you getting your $100,000 for this new job you got. Boy, it's $200,000. And then let's say you had vacation pay. He's on vacation because, you know, a lot of them have almost a year vacation, 6 months vacation, because they don't like taking vacation. I don't know why. I used to take mine all the time. And that's so we got to pay you off to bring you in. Man, sweetie. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Clearly,
Yes.
GNN call back. Listen.
Yeah, brother.
Clearly, let's make this easy. Some of the callers always say, y'all need to get up there and preach and do some investigative journalism. A lot of these questions we ask and we can answer ourselves.
Yes.
If every 5 years this happens, right?
Uh-huh.
Let's do an analysis. How much, let's take this 500 people. Let's find out how much of them are affiliated with the Free National Movement, how much affiliated with the COI or the PDP or the other party, and how much affiliated with the PLP. And if we get the pie is sliced up kind of equally, then I guess we do have a skills gap, or we do have a.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but I almost ready to guarantee. I was ready to put money down and bet. Most of them affiliated with
use a sportsman.
I'm willing to bet. Most of them associated with this government.
Ain't no, but you jump the gun. That's exactly what I said.
And I probably will win that.
50% or more is affiliated with any one of the government, then that's our answer. That ain't got nothing to do with your children's school fee and your bills and all that foolishness.
Amen. I agree.
Thank you.
But I doing some checking. I don't know if I can. I'm trying to do some checking. I'm trying to find out some information. But if I get it, trust me, I can let you know.
Listen, there's something pretty called sampling, We don't need the entire 500,
No, I know that.
We really need about 10 and the particular names. Because if I remember my memory, the GNN memory serves him correct. One or two of the former politicians, private people, I was so dumb in school, I get put out. So if you was that dumb and you got a couple of pension and things going, what's be calling you back for and you get put out when you was in school? Pretty ain't going on now because I got some friends with you. Listen, I know I ain't in trouble.
Don't worry about that. You ain't the only one.
All right.
All right, brother. Ah, boy. But I would like to know him, the fella can tell you, you ask him, they can say, I ain't associated with nobody. I'm not associated with anybody. I'm not with that. We all know better. Text. Early they said you can't double dip, but they never said you can't triple dip. And basically, if you're getting a vacation, that pension and that is triple dipping. Interesting. Good afternoon, Pearly. The opposition just is bad. They already borrowed $6.2 billion in 4 terms. The FNM served in governance and over $2.2 billion collected in VAT. And they want to be the next government without any plan to reducing the debt in 10 years and investing in family island infrastructure development, yearly and fixed national insurance, and revamp the healthcare and education system. And right now, the FNM is showing poor governance and poor representation with 45% of accountability in the public funds. The FNM just waiting their turn to be the next government with no plan to be kicked out of office. They have no plan because they ain't presented a plan to you yet. And, it's unfair to say that about them. All right, we can say what we're going to say about the government because we see what they're doing, but you can't say the opposition. I know that he gave you his housing plan, he gave you his crime plan already, a tip of it. So, come on. Really, they only bring them back until the next election. After that, they're gone. Well, depends on who wins as well. Listen, Pearly, they are so wrong for bringing back those bunch of retirees. Have you seen how the former BEC general manager who done retired 3 times is now vice president of our technical college? Him and the president have to be about 75 years old. Pearly, you telling me the government couldn't find no one else to run that school? These old people keeping the nation back. One more and then we'll take a break. There are civil servants, including PSs, and have up to 5 years vacation due at retirement. Some of them do. We're going to take our first break. This is Pearly on a Talking Heads Friday on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. We take a quick break. We'll be right back.
From the throne of David, yeah, it's obvious that the drifting you have the respect for the King of all kings. So his name I'll be always exalting. So I'll never go where pagans go, never do what heathens do, cause Rastafari give out the guidance. I'll never say what the idolaters say. For Emperor Selassie, I trust and obey. Rasta words are pure substance. I'll never go.
Collect, the Bear of the Bahamas, invites you to Victory Fest 2025. Join us Saturday, March 1st at Smuggler Square for an epic celebration of the 2024 Boxing Day and 2025 New Year's Junkanoo winners, the Saxon Superstars. Enjoy music by Playhouse DJs, Lil Giant, DJ Tank, and performing live, Van Sean and D-Mac. Let's celebrate the 4 straight Junkanoo winners, Saxon Superstars. Victory Fest 2025, Saturday, March 1st at Smuggler Square. Hosted by Rika C. Gates open at 8 p.m. Let's celebrate Junkanoo, culture, and the Saxon Superstars. Collect reminds you to drink
nutrition. Check out our world-famous smoothies, signature quinoa dishes. We have the best salad and breakfast fit for a king and his queen. Open for breakfast, lunch, and now dinner. Each order is made with love and the highest quality ingredients and is nutritionally balanced. Visit any of our 3 locations. Old Fort Bay, open until 7:30 p.m. West Bay Street and Gladstone Road in the Monrose Complex, open until 4 p.m. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at NRG Bahamas. NRG, nutrition ready ready to go.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John offers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street in Palmdale and Carmichael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
The KFC chicken experts have done it again with the new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich, featuring a large 100% premium 120-gram white meat filet topped with cheddar cheese, smoky bacon, lettuce, tomato, and tangy red onions, all drizzled with ranch sauce and served on a toasted brioche bun. Choose original recipe or spicy, but don't wait. This mouth-watering masterpiece is only here for a limited time and only at your favorite KFC. The new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich at KFC.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
It's time for the buzz. What are you buzzing on? Brought to you by John's Shoes.
Not even the dogs that piss against the walls of Babylon shall escape the wrath I come to pour. And I shall burn them and burn them.
Welcome back to Talking Heads on a Friday here on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. Before we get into the buzz, I want you to check out NRG, is nutrition. Check out our world-famous smoothies, signature quinoa dishes, best salads and breakfast fit for a king and his queen. Open for breakfast, lunch, and now for dinner. Each order made with love. The highest quality ingredients and is nutritionally balanced. Visit any of their 2 locations, Old Fort Bay, open until 7:30 p.m., and West Bay Street above the Henria Plaza on the 2nd floor, open until 4 p.m. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at NRG Bahamas. Check them out. Yeah, let's see what's going on. Oh, we get a couple more texts. It says here, good day, Pearlie. They should not have been brought back. If you work for 40 years and retire, they should have trained persons to take over their positions when they left. This payback for being PLP supporters, family, friends, and lovers. Give the young people a chance. SMT. I mean, suck my teeth. This time, the opposition haven't properly laid out their plan, but the election is in 20 months. A plan should already be presented to the Bahamians to show you ready to govern the country, because the government can call an election in 13 months, and the opposition already showing there isn't ready. If a snap election is called because they haven't even chosen no candidates as yet. They haven't announced candidates as yet. And who says they have to do it now? They have candidates on the ground. They have candidates training course, as did the PLP. PLP ain't announced any new candidates yet. They're working on their plan. They have a plan when they can do it. Not because I say they should do it now. Not because you say to Exeter that they should do it now. But that's a good argument to say, oh, they have the plan because you ain't hear it yet. Tell me, in this country, when has this happened? What is this? This is February. So we got March, April, May, June, July, August, September. All right, so you got 18, 20 months before our next election should be called. They can call a snap, yes, they can do that. When has that happened before? When has anybody put out their plan 2 years before the election? Let's get real. I mean, some people may be anxious to get rid of this government. Some people may be anxious to have another party run. But let's be honest and let's be real with it. In no law said they have to bring their plan out today. But they should bring it out soon. Yes, I agree. Who said they're not working on it? Who says they have a deaf? I know I'm hearing candidates in this place, that place. In Baytown, they get several people. In Southern Shores, they get a bunch of people. In Bamboo Town, in South Beach, in Fort Charlotte, in Marathon, in Freetown. They got people working and people on the ground doing things. And I'm sure they will make some announcements soon. And I'm sure the PLP is going to announce, because I don't think they came with all them people who in the house with them now. They may dump some. They may bring some new ones in. So I'm sure we'll be hearing from them soon. So let's don't be disingenuous and stuff like that. We know better than that. Let's do better than that. Really, that's what people vote for by a large majority. You make your bed, you lay in it. But see, people didn't vote for that in a large majority. They did not. A whole 62%. We have an 89 to 91% voter turnout every election except this past one. 62, 63%, somewhere around there turnout. A lot of people stayed home. I always tell people 120,000 people, 120,000 of the 195,000, 90+ thousand people who registered either voted against the PLP or stayed home. But the same amount, 125,000 plus, either voted against the FNM or stayed home. And we have to look at that. When you have that much people out of that gone against you, it wasn't no large voter turnout. Wasn't no overwhelming victory. So they believe that they got the popular vote. They in for a surprise. The people didn't vote for you like that. Your base voted, yes. But a lot of people stayed home or go on the beach. You have no say. And I agree with that. I agree you should vote. That's your God-given right. If you're 18 or older and you haven't, go register to vote. Because if you vote, and don't say your vote don't count, because there was a seat called Centerville in the 2017 elections that the sitting prime minister was the member of parliament for, and he lost by 4 votes. That happened in the 2010 by-election in Elizabeth, where Dominion Sands lost by, I think, 3 or 4 votes as well. And it happens in other areas where people have lost by a couple of votes. It can happen. So your vote does count. It sure does count. And when you vote, you have a say. You could say, I don't like this or I like that. But if you don't vote, that means you're happy with whatever you see out there. And you don't care. The first time I was old enough to vote in 1982, I voted in every election. Every election. Because that's my right. My daughter was in college and elections was being held, and you have to come home. And the professor say, take your test early and go home. You have to vote. So don't, let's see what we're saying here in the text. Pearlie's Anton soon. He may. Pearlie, you could imagine waiting 9 hours in the hot sun to spoil your ballot. 9 hours. You might wait a good time, but it ain't going to be 9 hours. And take your time and vote right. Don't spoil your ballot. And a caller came in and said, we change our governments every 5 years, and if these people ain't getting it right, we ain't been getting it right. Not the politicians. We, the people of the Bahamas, have not been getting it right because we've not been paying attention and seeing who has the better plan for our country. We vote for the one who throw the best rallies and the best parties and who party us the most. I watch people celebrate after the by-election in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. What blue top still on their roof from Dorian and but celebrating the victory. And you talk about people who take $100. I don't know how true it is. It could be true. It could not be true. But if you did take $100 for your vote, you're crazy. $20 a year? Come on, man. You got to stand for something. Not just for the moment and the fun of it. No, you got to stand for something. Text says, okay, I agree, Pearlie, but the opposition needs to release a plan. At least 28 candidates before September 25, to introduce at least 28 candidates before September 25 to be on the safe side, because they shouldn't wait until 26 to start, because I feel they will be too late. They will win election, but it's best that they start early to get a good start to show Bahamians stay ready. And I agree. Be too stupid to vote for rum and to get a government job. I agree. They should. And hopefully they do. And hopefully everybody, so we can see who's who. But let's pay attention this time to the plans. Somebody said to me, oh, what y'all writing this manifesto for? What you writing this our plan for? Anybody's read that? They want to know what you're doing today for me. You gave me this $100. You gave me something to drink. You fixing on my light. You doing something. That's what they want to know what you do for me today. They ain't worrying about what you putting in place, so I don't have to come back to you to beg you for money to pay for my light bill. We ain't doing that. We just can go out and say, oh boy, they had KB and they had Gino D and the PLP had D-Mark and the PLP had Ronnie, but oh God rest his soul. And they had the best rallies and they had so much food and they just gave away free rock. No, man. Yeah, come out and party and have a good time. I always say, a rally don't win you elections. It is what it's called, rally. It is to rally your base up, to rally your people up, to get them excited. So yeah, you gotta throw a good show. But if you think, I ain't too sure that rally can win me over, no man, I want to know what your plans are. I want to know what you can do for my country. So my grandson can have a good life when God called me to glory. 5-year plan. And some people may want that. But I want to know what you can do for the first 5 and then the next 10 and then 20. That's what I want to see. What you going to do immediate? What you going to do from 2026 to 2031 for me? Then what you can do from 2026 to 2036 for me? And then what you can do from 2026 to 2046 for me? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Probably I know Aram Lewis not getting elected as a candidate. We don't know that. We don't know that. He's a good man. He's a good man. We'll see what happens there. But don't worry about him. He's one of the 7 opposition. Let's worry about the government, the 32 of them. What they do? What have they done? Which of them should be re-elected? And we can talk about this one day, you know. Which of them should even get a nomination again? Because we got some lousy members of parliament out there. Yeah, I said it. And we've had lousy members of parliament from the FNM and the PLP. But now the PLP in power, so we criticizing them. Some good people on both sides of the divide, can't knock that. They're Bahamians. They are people. Like Ronnie Butler said, I know them long. They mine. But it is what it is. It is what it is. What do we want from our country? Do we want to just party and have a really good election season, or what we call silly season? And after that, we have buyer's remorse. We upset about this. We upset about that. We can say, oh, they elect us like this. Oh, they ain't do nothing like that. They ain't do nothing. They ain't do this. They ain't do that. I hear you, Madam Edwards. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear. But what do we want for our country? Do we listen to these fellas and say there's a labor shortage knowing they send a bunch of people home, bring a bunch of their people in, and use it as an excuse? Is that what we want? Is that what we want? Y'all tell me. Call you on the air. How you doing?
Good day, Pearly.
Hey, my brother. How are you?
You said today is the day in review, eh?
Yeah, we reviewing the week. What happened all week? What you want to talk about?
Well, first of all, Freddie from Vauxhall, they bring them in and they couldn't pay. They bring them in to pay grandchildren's school fee. So, retirees, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, if they was restarting, you think they should have started with a car? They should restart them at re-entry level pay.
But see, that's what I was saying. I'm saying, if you're collecting your pension and you need to bring them in a smaller salary to make up the pension so you can be at a level, I can live with that piece. But don't tell me you gave me full pension and full salary. That ain't fair.
It ain't the makeup, you know. You then get your package from back then, you collect in pension, so you come back now because of some support for the party. So you got to start at re-entry level pay.
Well, no, and I tell you why I know. Because, if you bring me, and I'm saying this, use me, if you bring me in my expertise and then you ain't giving me no entry-level pay, you put me at where I'm qualified to help. Giving me my pension as well. I put the pension on freeze, and you pay me my salary, and then when I finish again, I get my pension. I get my pension again.
Okay, so they can go pay them school fee. What he's talking about here.
I'm talking.
They can pay them school fee. Now the other thing, remember previous administration tells that solarizing Ragged Island, right?
Yeah, they had a solar. I think they put solar energy in Ragged Island. I think that was done.
That weekend, I know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying here, I say that because, the hotels, how much stories in Lucayo Hotel?
Boy, I don't know,
But they go on and give them people with the name Hutchinson Wampoa $30 million, right?
Some I give them some. I don't quote me on the amount, but I hear you saying.
So they had a management company in advance come to manage a place like as soon as they sign off with them, come and try and do the renovation the next week. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
To say they can come and manage this place, or they can do you get an estimate of what it can take to, as soon as they sign over, what it can take to do renovations or to keep it going.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
They could have sit down and say, okay, Hutchinson, Wampoa, y'all want sales, we the government. So what we can do is, y'all giving y'all $30 million? No. I tell you what, we can give y'all 20 up front, and we can pay all $1 million a month after that, but we then got the management company in advance, and they can come in, we can do the renovations. And how much you think it can take to solarize the hotel?
Some good money, but I mean, it's worth it.
You see my point?
Yeah.
Then they wouldn't have no big electricity bill because right there up front, you have a deferred payment of the $30 million. You need to give all of that. You bring in the management company to run the place. You're saving on the energy because that can pay off itself within a
But
matter.
you only need the management company if you can continue owning it. But if you're selling it, then they're responsible. The owners, the new owners, are responsible for finding their own management team.
Okay, so now that the label on that ain't the Trump Towers or nothing, or Princess Towers no more, right?
No,
That's
Trump Towers.
Lucayo and Mole Towers. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And how much they say they pay to maintain it every month?
I think they're up to about $2 million now.
Per month?
I don't know if that's a month or that's what they've been spending since they've been managing, but it's been a good chunk of money.
And what they should have done is they should have checked your colleague and bring him in to work with these people. You know that fella called Howard?
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have bring him in so he could have something to do so he could be happy. You know what I mean? And help him to come to the management team, to come management, because he said he was in a hotel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up in a hotel too from Atlantis.
Yeah.
It was resorts then when they first got computerized.
Yeah.
So they should have bring him in so he could be satisfied and he don't be so disgruntled and punching the button on me. I gone.
That's what I would do. Let's see a couple more texts here. Pearly, that's a PLP shortage they bring to work. Pearly, actually politicians only work for 2 years because the first year they celebrate the victory. The second year they find out the country break. The next 2 years blame the last government, and the last 2 years ready to campaign for election. You know I ain't lie. All we want is the contract to clean the verges. All Bahamians want is contract and a good government job. Pearly, life ain't fair. Don't hate the player, hate the game. So we can't blame the people. You gotta blame us who voting. It's incredible how persons are attacking the FNM for naming candidates and presenting their plan while staying silent about the downward spiral the PLP has thrown this country into. I find that very interesting as well. I find it very interesting. They ain't the government. They ain't FNM in the government. They're the opposition. And it makes me feel is why are you questioning? Why are you questioning? Why don't you talk about what the government has doing and things like that? We shouldn't be worrying right now and texting me and telling me the FNM ain't named no candidate and nothing yet. When you got a minister saying there's a labor shortage and you ain't questioning that. When you got a minister saying they bring back 400 and some, we had her statement today, actually 450 retirees, where she said a lot in the police force. which is an insult to the young police officers who coming up. You tell me they ain't good enough, they ain't smart enough to do the job. You got to bring retirees back in there to take their position and order them around. But y'all worrying about whether the half of them got candidates or named candidates yet? What kind of pettiness that is? Don't worry about them. They the opposition. They get beat. They get voted out. Worry about the government of today. Let's worry about what they're not doing correct and what they're doing correct. And stop being petty like that. Texting me craziness. I want to know what this government is doing. I want to talk about the problems we have. Half of them name their candidates, then we can critique that. Or when they put their plan out, then we can critique that, if we read it. But in the meantime, let's worry about with this government. Who running the party? Who running the country? What they doing from what they're not doing. That don't make sense? Am I talking fool? Call you on the air. How you doing?
Hi, Pearly.
Hey, Pearly L. How are you?
I'm fabulous.
Super.
Calm down, Pearly. Calm down. See, you have to realize now that what's going on is to try and cast a bad image over the F&M government, the F&M incoming government.
Okay.
You see, they want to keep persons having a bad taste in their mouth where it comes to Mr. Pintard and the others.
Okay.
It's as simple as that, because as much as they can keep you saying and thinking negatively, and then look at how it goes. They say all of these things, or he's not ready, he hasn't announced anything yet, he didn't show us a plan of any sort, and this, that, and the next thing. And then when you see that's no longer working, they jump on. Well, minutes coming back to take over, Well, minutes coming back to because they know everybody is still on the edge when it comes to minutes.
Yeah.
So they switch to these two back and forth to try and keep that negativity.
Let's be clear on one thing, and from what I understand from the F&M, they had a convention on June 1st.
Mm-hmm.
They elected a leader.
Yes, it is.
They ain't having no more convention for 2 years. Their constitution says every 2 years.
But
so it ain't gonna be no time to vote for no new person right up to now. So you got who you got.
And see, we know that.
No, everybody know that. Everybody know that. I mean, them and that party, them and that side, them and that party, they know that. They know the rules.
See, by accepting it, let me show you something. If after everything we have heard about Prime Minister Davis back in the wind, you understand? You remember the things we heard in reference to him.
Yes.
And we still see it fit to give him an opportunity.
Yes.
What's so different about Mr. Pintard? What are we afraid of?
It's a different person.
What are they afraid of?
Yeah, it's a different person. Let's see what he got to say. He may have a better plan. You never know.
Exactly. Yes, he's in the F&M party. Yes, the F&M party at time, but the prime ministers have changed. The same as Mr. Davis. Christie was he was next in line, and a lot he didn't do. And now that he's in, he's trying to make it seem like, Mr. Pintard could have done this and Mr. Pintard could have done that under minutes. Mr. Pintard was never second in command.
Nope. He was a minister of youth and sports and then a minister of agriculture.
Exactly. So we could have given Mr. Davis an opportunity, knowing what we have heard about him and his character over the years.
Bamsey.
We still saw it fit to give him an opportunity. What's the problem with giving Mr. Pintard an opportunity? We're talking about the next set of people. Says, I'm like you. I believe in us trying to fix this from within. Fix what we have.
Yep. Let's fix it.
Have a blessed weekend.
Thank you, my love. You have a blessed weekend, too. Call you on there. How you doing?
How are you, my brother? But quickly, the bottom line is prudency. The government has to look at their spending.
Yes.
If we cut back on foolishness, we'll have money to deal with the real needs of this country.
Yes.
So we need to look at the budget. We need to have really a ministry of accountability.
Oh, you want an Elon Musk? That's what you want.
Yeah, hold on. Let me just ambulance.
You want an Elon Musk? That's what you want.
And are they willing to cut back on unnecessary stuff, things that are not really urgent?
Yeah.
That's what we have to do. And right now, I think we're in a bad state. We're not handling that well at all.
No, we're not.
You see, the renting of these government buildings is another issue I have. We got to cut back, but we're not cutting back. Okay, we have other ministries that need funding, Bahamas Air, the hospital. Okay, we got teachers' issues. What is important? And I'm very, very disturbed about this matter. There's nothing to do with opposition and PITAD and FNM and DNA and PLP. It's about the economic of this country. Are we being prudent? And we have to be accountable. How can wasting government gas all over the place? When the Right Honorable Gibbon Ingram was in power, every car that needed to be parked was parked.
Yep.
We are wasting. I am not satisfied. Let me tell you something. I am not satisfied that we have to borrow unless we cut back the fat. And there's too much fat going on. And we got to be realistic. It's not about the opposition. I tell people, Bahamians are smart. We are intelligent people. We don't need opposition to tell us if the government is overspending or underspending. We are intelligent people.
All right.
So I hear some of the nonsense some ministers speak about all the opposition. It's nothing to do with the opposition.
It doesn't.
We Bahamians control the PLP and the FNM, and we decide if we want you in or out.
Amen.
We are very clever. We are very smart people.
Amen. But my producer tell me I got to go. You hear the music?
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for the call.
Disturbs me. We are smart people.
Thank you so much. Read this two more texts before I go. Pearly, the PLP want minutes to come back because the FNM won't vote. Well, they probably so. Pearly, after the aftermath of the next general election, who you think will retain their seats? We'll talk about it next time, okay? Pearly, we need to learn how to drive. The traffic accidents are ridiculous. Yes, we just do any foolishness. Drive carefully out there. Thank you for the call. Thank you for the text. Thank you for the encouragement. Thank you for listening. This has been the first half of Talking Heads on a Friday afternoon here with Pearly in the house filling in for Naughty on Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. When we get back, we can talk some sports, get into our picks, and get into the weekend. We'll be back right after the news.
The respect for the King of all kings, so his name I'll be always exalting. So I'll never go where pagans go. Never do what the heathens do.
Craving some extra finger-licking good flavor? Well, love is in the air at KFC, and it's downright irresistible. KFC's Mega Love Bucket is filled with 8 pieces of the crispy Kentucky Fried Chicken that you love and paired with 4 buttery biscuits, 8 saucy nuggets, large creamy mashed potatoes with gravy, and 4 sweet strawberry dessert biscuits. Pass by KFC today and crunch in love with a Mega Love Bucket. KFC is finger-licking good.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
You're a builder. You want to give your client the best material at the best prices, and you need to put food on the table. Well, check out these prices at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68, includes VAT. By the way, all these prices include VAT. Great Select Water Shield, $134.20 a roll. Felt, 15 pounds, $16.50, 30 pounds, $19.80. Owens Corning Duration Shingles and Certainty Landmark Shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon Roof Cement, $33.47. When it comes to screwing and nailing, Pinder got you covered. He got every nail and screw you could possibly need.
All I do is win, no matter what.
Feeling lucky? Here's Cuban Willie's numerology report. Brought to you by the Island Game.
Guantanamera, buenos días, it's Cuban Willie, and it's Friday, baby, it's the weekend, and it's time for my double whammy slammy, your 3-ball and your 4-ball, to play and win with the Island Game. Your 3 pelotas for Friday, 7, 7, 7, the lucky 7s, the lucky 7s, and the 4-ball for today, for Friday, the 23, 23, 23, 23, 23, 23. That's your 3-ball and your 4-ball, your lucky 3-ball and 4-ball for the weekend. Play that and win with the Island Games. Stay winning, my friend.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Yeah. I'll never go in wrong congregation, boy.
Talking Heads Fifth Naughty is brought to you by Burger King, City of Hope, Fine Threads, Jazz in the Gardens, John's Department Store, Joker's Wild, Click, KFC, Naughty Johnny's, NRG Nutrition, Percy's Island Games, Pinder Towel, Prince Masters.
Never go where the pagans go. Never do what the heathens do. Cause Rastafari give all the guidance. I'll never say what the wicked ought say. Neither will I walk in the council no day. All the eyes be no God. So
And welcome back. Talking Heads Friday. Guardian Radio 96.9 FM. This is Pearly in the house here. Sports time. So let's get right into it. And today in sports history, let's get right into that. Today is Friday, February 21st, 2020. Man, it was just Christmas last week. Ready to end of February. Boy, time flying. I guess we're having fun. Today in sports history, in 1904, the National Ski Association was formed in Ishpeming. Ooh, that's in Maryland. In 1968, an agreement between baseball players and club owners increased the minimum salary for major league players to $10,000 a year. Probably getting that inning. In 1970, Bobby Hull, Chicago Blackhawks, scored his 500th career point. In 1971, Ruth Jensen won $60,000 in the Sayers Win. In 1973, the Chicago Blackhawks played their 262nd game without being shut out. In 1974, Tom Seaver signed a contract with the New York Mets worth $172,000 a year. In 1985, an NBA attendance record was set with 44,970 people watching a game between Atlanta and Detroit. In 1986, Rollie Fingers refused to shave off his mustache to comply with the policy of the Cincinnati Reds. In 1986, Jimmy Connors was fined $20,000 and was suspended from tennis for 10 weeks after he threw a fit while playing against Ivan Lindell. In 1996, the Philadelphia 76ers had their worst offensive performance in over 40 years. They only managed to score 57 points against Miami. Our sports quote of the day, go out that door to victory. Knut Rockne, University of Notre Dame football coach, after an inspiring halftime talk. Wow. Let's get on to the home court. Let's see what's going on right now. The Bahamas blast Cuba. All right. Squad remains alive for advancement to the FIBA AmeriCup. Super duper stuff. Turnquest reaches the round of 32 in Vegas. Kalina tees off for charity golf tournament. Super. Wonderful. Yeah, but we beat up on them on the Cubans last night. What the final score was? 97-74. We was all over them Cubans last night. It's really a good game. It was really a good game. Played well. Defense was good. Swarming defense. You can't beat that. I think the Cubans playing Puerto Rico, and we got to beat the Americans. Okay, but we can't. That's very, very well done, team. Well done. Congratulations. Super. I like that. I like that big win. That's something we need. We need it, and I'm looking forward to that run to the World Basketball Championships. All right, and I'm looking forward to eventually getting back to the Olympics in 2028. Where we'll have a more experienced team. VJ Edgecombe will be more experienced. We got some young kids coming up. So hopefully by then we'll have a really good team. All right, because Buddy them might be retired by then. You don't know. Did y'all watch the hockey game last night? Listen, did y'all watch the hockey game last night? I watched the hockey game last night. It was a great game. It was really a good hockey game. The Canadians beat the Americans 3-2 in overtime. The Americans are leading 2-1. Canadians tied up at the end of the second period. Then they went scoreless in the third period, and they went to the overtime. And McDavid, that's his name is, Connor McDavid, who's probably the best player in hockey. That kid can play. He's had 3 scoring titles, I think. Like that, he can play. And he had a beautiful goal. Beautiful goal. It was a great pass that came to him. And what we will, in basketball terms, would be he's on top of the key. and just put it over the left shoulder of the keeper. That was really good stuff. I was excited. I'm a hockey fan to some degree. I went to college in Minnesota, so I watch a lot of hockey there. But it was just a good game to watch. It was fun. After that, I switched over to the Lakers game. And I watched the Lakers. LeBron looked good last night. Credit where credit due. Gave him some clutch buckets. Austin Reeves is really good. Luka didn't play last night. Calf management. I guess they're making sure he doesn't injure the calf again. But Luka didn't play last night. But the Hachimura had a couple of key buckets. Gabe Vincent had one or two key buckets. Played some pretty decent defense. And I think they beat him 110-102. It was a pretty good game. LeBron put up 40 points. Reeves put up 32, I think it was. But they played well. I still think we have some issues on the inside. I think we have some issues. But I'm pretty pleased with that win. Got past that. Got Denver next. I think Denver Saturday. If we beat Denver, then it'll tell us a different story. And I guess we rested Luka against Portland so he could be ready for Denver. So I thought that was pretty good stuff. Dodgers lost their first spring training game yesterday, but then I don't worry about spring training too much. That's where a lot of people trying to make the team get stars straight through. So I wasn't too worried about that yesterday. They're playing right now. They're getting killed again, 7-1. But that's fine. There's a lot of games on tonight. We'll go through them later. Yankees won 4-0. Padres won 5-1. Okay. So that's so spring training is picking up. I think the Dodgers didn't do very well last year in spring training. But that's where you know what you got in Mookie Betts, you know what you got in Freddie Freeman, you know what you got in Sasaki, you know what you got in Yamamoto. You know what you got in Edmonds. You know what you got in Teoscar Hernandez. You know what you got. So you only can play them an inning or two, maybe one at bat, two at bat just to get a feel. And then you bring in a bunch of AAA and AA players who won't be on the team come opening day. But they get ready, they get an ability to showcase what they got. So if somebody's hurt and you got to call up somebody, you know who you're calling up. So I don't worry too much about that. I usually only watch inning 1 and 2, and then that's it. I don't watch the rest of that because I'm too interested in seeing the rookies play. Unless there's somebody like if Pajes, who's second year blind, won't watch him play, I'd sit up and watch him take a couple of bats. Very few night games in spring training because they won't go golfing later. So we'll see. But like I said, that hockey game was really good. And Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, says, he threw a little shade at Trump. You can't take our country, you can't take our sport. Hockey is Canada. Hockey is Canada. That's their sport. That and curling. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Lakers game last night as well. And I'm starting to kind of watch the Lakers a little more now. Not like I was doing when I was really upset with them last year and didn't watch at all, hardly. Apparently we needed that win. Our team hasn't had a win this entire tournament. I ain't quite certain which win you mean. The Bahamas? That was a big win. That was a huge win. Particularly over Cuba. I think Cuba was the killers back in the day. But we've got a lot more basketball talent. This little country, this little Bahama land, we put out some really good athletes, Really good. Look, we got some great baseball players. We got great basketball players. Water polo swimmers. Soccer players. For a small country, we churn out a lot of talented athletes. Because the smallest countries, we should have maybe one little basketball player, maybe one little baseball player. Is it that American influence? Because we're so close to the States? I don't know. What do you think? But we'll see what goes on. I see the Yankees have changed their rules. Zanzi, you should like that. I think we spoke about that the other day when you called in. The Yankees rules is you can't have any beard. You had to have a clean shave. You had to have a clean shave. And now they changed policy. Okay, and it says one of the most antiquated policies in the sport is finally getting an upgrade for the modern era, as the New York Yankees are relaxing their policy against facial hair. In a statement from Yankees chairman Hal Steinbrenner, the team announced Friday that it will allow players and uniform personnel to have well-groomed beards, effective immediately. Now they ain't talking you having this long old beard like James Harden. No, we ain't talking. They're talking of a nice, like a Pearly got his own nice and low and groomed, shaped up nice and everything like that. That's how they want you to do it. So that's finally, because a lot of players went to New York and had to shave those beards off. A lot of players did not go to New York because they didn't want to shave those beards off. So I know, Sans, I know you, Brother Yankee, I know you happy with that move. Are you? I understand that the Dallas Mavericks are going to tribute to Luka when they play. I think they play next week sometime. I did tell you yesterday that Wemby, the French sensation, San Antonio is out. He's got an infection in his nerve or something like that in his shoulder, which he's going to be fine, but they just got to treat it. Blood clots, that's what it is, blood clots in the shoulder. So they just got to treat it. But the Americans are upset about losing to Canada. I heard the press secretary for President Trump says they look forward to beating the 53rd state. I wanted to see what President Trump's reaction would be to that losing, that the team lost to Canada. We're going to have an interesting Final 15. Stephen A. Smith is going to be on today. He's going to talk about the longevity of LeBron James. I figured we could try to get more basketball stuff and some baseball stuff in. So he's going to talk about the longevity of, start off with an interview from J.J. Redick, the coach who talked about 40-year-old playing back-to-back games and what he went through. Stephen A. Smith is going to make his comment, and then he can talk a little bit about the Greek Freak as to whether his time in Milwaukee is coming to a short end. Because some statements were made saying that he's going to stay there based on the success of the team. If the team does well, or if the team does not do well, he may look to move on when his contract expires. That'll be a shame if Milwaukee loses him, It'll be a real shame. Not a great fan of his, but, that's like Magic Johnson or Kobe Bryant leaving the Lakers. Not like LeBron, because LeBron I don't consider him an original Laker. I don't consider him he's not a Kobe Bryant type Laker or a Magic Johnson Laker or James Worthy. Even a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Laker, to be honest with you. Even though Kareem started in Milwaukee. Or even though Bill Chamberlain Laker, even though Bill started in Philadelphia. But no, I just don't feel him as a Laker. I don't feel LeBron as a Laker. I don't think he came there to try to win championships for the Lakers. I think he came to try to win a contract in Hollywood. That's what I believe. Some people may say different. Bronchexuals may think differently. I'm sure a certain Naughty would agree with me. Go there to win championships. He's been there to get people in the stands, get some endorsements, get a movie contract maybe, or a commercial contract. But, he's doing a lot of commercials, him and Kevin Hart. So I don't know. Maybe so. Lordy, Miss Claudie. Yeah, so there's a couple more games left in the NCAAs. So you should start seeing the tournaments. I think March Madness starts in 2 weeks, maybe 3. So you're going to have another few games to end out the season, and then you have the conference like the SEC, the Big Ten, the ACC. Those who win the tournament automatically get an automatic bid to the NCAA's tournament. So that's where you see some lowly placed teams that get a good run in the tournament and get in, and then it hurts some other team who should have been in it, but because this lowly placed team won their tournament, they automatically in. You cannot put the other fellas in. So, that hurts some other teams, some bubble teams. They call teams that right on the edge, whether they can make it or not. So it's kind of hard for teams, some teams when you see, let's say, a BYU, Brigham Young, who's in 9th place in their conference, but they win the tournament. Normally they wouldn't make the NCAA March Madness tournament. Normally they wouldn't make it, but because they win their tournament, their conference tournament, they got an automatic bid. So now teams like Utah or teams like Baylor, who's in first place, they got to be there. So they will hurt another team who's a bubble team, maybe a Cincinnati who's a bubble team who ain't sure can make it, University of Cincinnati. So that's what happens to the tournament. So we'll have the end of season coming up by next week. And then they take a week, 5 days to do their tournament. And maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Saturday, and then Sunday they have the announcement. And then third week of March, we call it March Madness, or we call it the NCAA tournament starts. The team is 68. They got a couple of play-in games, and then they bring it down to 64. And then they start playing like that. So teams who just scrape in and that's 68, they got to play one extra game. That kind of hurts. But March Madness, it's lost some of its luster over the years. I mean, I couldn't wait to do my brackets. I could do brackets. I do them, but I mean, back in the day, I couldn't wait to do 2 or 3 brackets. Now I just do maybe 1, maybe 2. And then last year I was out in the first week. The first weekend, I think the two of the 4 teams I picked to make the Final Four get beat. I was like, okay, that's done there. No winnings for me there. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited about the women's tournament. Notre Dame's now number 1. LSU still got a pretty good team. South Carolina got a good team. All right. USC got a good team. UCLA got a good team. So that'll be kind of interesting to watch. And I keep telling y'all, take Pearlie's word for it. Watch some women basketball. It's really good. And it ain't what you're thinking, okay? It ain't what you're thinking. It ain't all them like that. But it's some good play. They're kind of cute, too. Take my advice on that. We're going to take our first break. That's cool, Mr. Producer. We take our first break. When we get back, we can talk a little more sports, then we can get into the picks. Talking as Friday. It's a great day. This is Burley, Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM. We'll be right back.
Oh, please, my cause, oh, Jah, when the wicked rise against the eye. Order my steps, oh, Jah, the way is dark and I'm alone. But still I fear no foe, no. Cause now is not the time to sleep or turn the other cheek. Are the wicked in a Babylon stew ya if you're weak? Whoa, please my cause, oh Jah, and let me stand firm.
You try to rest, but roll with the best. For all your printing needs, there ain't no one better, no. For posters and banners, magazines and flyers, for window decals, greeting cards and newsletters. No job too big and there's no job too small. You name it, we can print it. Just give us a call. Let Print Masters bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
John Shoes and Accessories is your one-stop shop for all your footwear needs. You will find what you're looking for among the growing collection of classic and trendy styles with new arrivals every week. John's covers the whole family and has great prices, helpful and friendly customer service. Your experience shopping with us will be time well spent. Shop with us online at www.johnshoes.com. John's also now carries small home appliances. So come on into John's, located on Rosetta Street and Michael Road West. John's, we put fashion at your feet.
Cancer Treatment Centers of America is now City of Hope, creating one of the leading cancer care and research networks from coast to coast, providing more of what you need. More locations means more care closer to home. More specialists means more expertise. More research means more breakthroughs. More advancements means more treatment options. And more options means more hope. Learn more at cancercenter.com.
The KFC chicken experts have done it again with the new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich, featuring a large 100% premium 120-gram white meat filet topped with cheddar cheese, smoky bacon, lettuce, tomato, and tangy red onions, all drizzled with ranch sauce and served on a toasted brioche bun. Choose original recipe or spicy, but don't wait. This mouth-watering masterpiece is only here for a limited time and only at your favorite KFC. The new Kentucky Mesquite Chicken Sandwich at KFC. It's finger-licking good.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Yeah. I'll never go in wrong boy. Rastaman a born pagan, so I'll never go where the pagans go.
And welcome back to Talking Heads Friday as we get into the back half of our week. I saw an interesting article about questions, off-season questions, and you always got to get a little piece of NFL in there so you can keep that little fix on, right? Some off-season questions about some teams, what they have to do, and teams that we know, the Buffalo Bills, can they keep their team together? Because they have paused, they in dire straits when it comes to the salary cap. But a lot of their key players are under contract, so I think they're going to basically keep that team together. Miami Dolphins, can they keep their band together despite one of the worst cap situations in the league? They're in dire straits. Miami, like $12 million over the cap. They got to restructure. They got to cut some people. And that's what hurt them last year. They had to cut Christian Wilkins and they had to let Robert Hunt go. They had to let some other people go. And that kind of hurt them. So it's going to be interesting to see. New England got a whole ton of money to spend, but when you're rebuilding the team, their concentration can first be on who they can pick first in the number 4. And then they can start looking at spending money. So New England could probably be a lot improved. The Jets question is who's their quarterback. They cut Aaron Rodgers, so who's their quarterback going to be? That's going to be interesting to see what they do. Are the Jets just going to take a hit and go with a rookie quarterback and build? The Ravens, their problem, their weakness is left tackle. What are they going to do there? We saw that weakness in the playoffs for them. Cincinnati's talking about Higgins trying to restructure the contract. Re-signs Higgins to keep him in there. Everybody got a little, you Steeler fans. Who you going to invest in? Quarterback is going to give me Russell Wilson back. Are they going to go after Donald, Cousins, Stafford? That's going to be something to watch. Houston Texans, who they going to bring in there to support C.J. Stroud? He needed some help. Ain't going to worry about them other teams too much, so. The Broncos, they need a receiver. Their problem is who they going to get as a legit number 1 receiver. The Broncos, Sean Payton did a pretty decent job with them last year. This is last season. But we showed what their problems were. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, their question is who they're going to keep. Who are the key free agents they're going to keep? Trey Smith, Marquise Brown, DeAndre Hopkins, Nick Bolton. That's going to be interesting to see. Las Vegas Raiders got a ton of money. How you can spend that money? You can just go stupid and buy some some crazy players. That's going to be interesting to watch. The Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons, are they going to extend him? How much will he get? Can they afford to extend him? And when will they do that? The Giants, their question is, New York Football Giants, quarterback. Who they going to get? That the next question for the world champions Philadelphia Eagles, do they check out The open market, do they look for other players, or they just try to keep the band together? That's going to be one. And then the upstart Commanders. Where do they find another? They need another weapon for Jaden Daniels. They need another wide receiver, tight end, something like that. Where do they find that? In the draft? So that'll be some nice to watch. The Bears. Oh boy, that's work. That's work. Lousy offensive line, terrible offensive line. How do they fix that? Do they spend money on that? Do they draft? There's a pretty decent class of offensive linemen there, interior linemen. There's a pretty decent class. So they might be able to find one or two gems there, but they're going to still probably have to bring in some free agent help. The Detroit Lions, do they stand pat or they bring in more talent? I think they need to bring in more secondary players. When I say secondary, not in the secondary, but QB2, defensive end twos, backups. They need to bring in more backups. Because they saw, and them injuries, that hurt them. They had some key injuries in defense that hurt them a whole lot. And we saw that. The Bears, I don't know. The Minnesota Vikings, do they keep Sam Darnold, or do they go with the second year playing JJ McCarthy, or keep both? Is JJ McCarthy ready? If they bring Sam Darnold back, they're not going to bring in a 1-year contract. So that's a hard decision they have to make. That's a really hard decision you have to make, because you got a kid sitting there who could probably be a pretty decent NFL quarterback. The Falcons. I picked the Falcons to win that South last year. I picked them to win, and they let me down. Do they keep Kirk Cousins, or do they move on from him? The Panthers, they still rebuilding. I don't know what you think about them so far. The Saints got a new coach. Do they commit to a rebuild and just gut the team out, totes and blows for a couple of years and rebuild? Keep that coach and hope that he shows improvement every year? The Cardinals, I don't know. The Rams. What do they do? What do they do? Do they keep Cooper Kupp? Do they move on from him and rebuild? And the key question to my Eric and my good friends out there, do the 49ers, do they extend Brock Purdy? Is Brock Purdy their quarterback of the future? Is Brock Purdy the 49ers quarterback of the future? I think so. If not him, who? If not him, who? Just like when Mystery Dolphin called and tell me he don't want to as a Dolphin quarterback. Okay, if not him, who? Who you gonna put? Who's better than him right now? Who is? I don't see them right now. And that's the question you have to ask. You could make noise about who you have. And say, get rid of them. But who you gonna replace them with? It ain't that simple, You're not putting them, bring Tom Brady right in. It ain't that simple. So when you look at some of these questions that these teams have to do over in the off season, when you listen to stuff that the good quarterback from Dallas said they close to Philadelphia as a Super Bowl team, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. But who, do you trade Dak? Do the Cowboys trade Dak and try to get for number with the Titans or something, then try more of that to get Shador or Cam Ward? Do they do that? Throat a little scratchy today. Do you do that? This offseason, this football offseason is going to be really interesting. You get the combines next week, so you get to take a good look at some fellas. Last year, I remember that kid who ran a 4.21. A 4.21 or 4.22, something in the 40-yard dash. That's blazing. Blazing. That's the fastest guy in the whole NFL. That's world-class, 100-meter world-class sprinting speed. So you get, and these are the roughs, the little diamonds in the roughs you get to see these unknown players. Some universities have some wide receivers there who are great wide receivers and never had they threw the ball. They ran it. Or some quarterback, some university said pro-style offense, and just threw the ball. So, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going on. Baseball baseball heating up, so getting know that. March Madness is coming. Let's get to the picks. Got quite a number of games tonight. Okay, so let's see what's going on. Dodgers down 7-3 and the 7 innings going into the 8th. All right, the Milwaukee Bucks at the Washington Wizards tonight. Milwaukee 6.5-point favorites. Washington play. You know what? I'm going to take the Bucks and the points tonight. I just have that feeling. You get the Memphis Grizzlies at the Orlando Magic. Memphis is 2.5-point favorites. Who's out? For them to say that, who's out? There's nothing significant. So I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies and the points tonight. I'm going to do that. The New York Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the Knicks barely beat Chicago in overtime last night. Cavaliers, 8.5 points. I'm going to take the Cavaliers and the points tonight, I think back-to-back for the Knicks, and they gave me that tough game with the Bulls last night. I like the Cavaliers and the points tonight. The Miami Heat, 3.5 at the Raptors. Boy, you know what? I like the Heat tonight, and I kind of like them at the 3.5, even though Toronto plays tough at home. I'm gonna side with this. I'm gonna take the Heat and the money line. Let's be cautious. The Detroit Pistons at the San Antonio Spurs. Detroit are 4.5-point favorites. There's no Wemby. Detroit is a real hustling team. I like Detroit and the money line though. New Orleans Pelicans at the Dallas Mavericks. Now Mavericks 5.5. AD still out. Murray is out. Okay. This is a tough one tonight, but I'm going to take the Mavericks and the money line, okay? I'm going to take the Mavericks and the money line. I can take the Mavericks and the money line. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Houston Rockets. Houston 3.5 over the Timberwolves. Boy, that's interesting. That's very interesting. And Houston plays tough ball at home. Let's take the Rockets and the points tonight. Let's be brave. Let's be real brave tonight. Oklahoma City Thunder. 15.5-point favorites tonight at the Utah Jazz. Boy, the Jazz coming off a win off the Lakers. The Jazz are not a very good team. I can be bold. I can be real bold, and I can take the Thunder and the points tonight. I think the Thunder can blow the Jazz out at home. And the last game, the Golden State Warriors, 2.5 over the Sacramento Kings. I don't understand that. Kuminga's out. Kuminga's out tonight. That's the only out. I don't understand that tonight. But you know something? Boy, they're a pretty even team. They have actually the same record. 28-27. I like the Warriors tonight, and I can take the Warriors and the points. I like the Warriors tonight and the points. Yeah, that's what we can do. So there you got it. I remember it's sponsored by Island Games. Remember to gamble responsibly. And check out all the different things that Island Games offer you. Ladies, gentlemen, that's it. Thank you for the calls. Thank you for the texts. Thank you for listening. It's been great to be with you a couple of days this week. Naughty will be back on Monday. I'll be with him at 5. Have a great weekend. Stay warm this weekend. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for the support. I do appreciate it. God bless you. Drive safe on those roads. I'm out.
Rise against the eye and order my steps, soldier. The way is dark and I'm alone, but still I fear no foe, no.
Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. If you want those slacks hemmed or just taking the waist, then Fine Threads is your place. If you wanna look suave and debonair everywhere you go, like you're supposed to be in a video, wanna step out and look great, then Fine Threads is your place. Refined style with elegant taste, then Fine Threads is your place. Is your place. Is your place.
Get to stacking up the flavor at Burger King Nassau with its new Stacker King lineup. It doesn't get any bigger, better, or meatier than the Stacker Kings, which feature bacon, cheese, and a delicious stacker sauce, all piled on as many flame-grilled Whopper patties as you can handle. For the chicken lovers, try the all-new Crispy Chicken Stacker, or pile your mornings high with a croissant stacker loaded with meat, cheese, and stacker sauce on a warm, flaky croissant. Don't miss out on the bold flavors of the Stacker King collection, available at Burger King Nassau.
Here's a price list of some of the roofing material we carry at Pinder Enterprises. 5/8 pressure-treated roofing ply starting at $36.68. Rule. Phelps, 15 pounds, $16.50. 30 pound, $19.80. Owens, Corning Duration shingles and CertainTeed Landmark shingles, $56.56 a bundle. Gallon of roof cement, $33.47. All sizes treated dimensional lumber. And of course, we have all nails and all screws. We have 5/8 sheetrock, $28.76. Half-inch sheetrock, $22.18. All prices include VAT.
You're listening to Talking Heads with Naughty, hosted by Earl the Pearl. On Guardian Radio, 96.9 FM.
Yeah. I'll never go in wrong congregation.
I don't know this person. I do not advocate for this person because I know this person or group of people. But these people exist on planet Earth. Whoever came up with the idea of the Four Nations face-off deserves a massive raise. Whoever this individual is, you know what? Was it a Zoom? Was it a board meeting? Was it Gary Bettman?
I'm not giving him any credit for this, but...
Okay. Well, he had to say yes.
He did. That's true.
You know, he had to say yes.
Players Union had to say yes.
The Players Union had to say yes. I guess it's a team effort.
Sure.
Or a world effort. Because, as I mentioned the other day when we came back from our President's Day break, the NHL cracked the code. Every single major North American sports trying to figure out what to do with its all-star game, or in the world of the NFL, Pro Bowl games. Now they kind of just have a little bit of fun before saying, screw it, we'll just put the flags on them. If they're playing in a way that looks like flag football, let's just put the flags on them and have them play it. And it's kind of fit in a way. Baseball's still trying to figure out what to do with its all-star game. The NBA, as we all know, this weekend was the backdrop for talking about the Four Nations face-off. And for the NHL to take a week off and say, this is how we're going to spend it. We're going to spend it by having a mini World Cup pool play leading to a finals between the two teams that have the best points record in the group of Four Nations, and let the good times roll. Check that box. Honestly, last night, the finals with the TD Garden in Boston, as Sean McDonough on ESPN called it, one of the toughest tickets in the history of that arena. Stanley Cups have been played in that arena. NBA Finals have been played in that arena. Concerts, name it. One of the toughest tickets in the history of the arena was a, if you will, gold medal game of a made-up tournament that meant nothing in the grand scheme of things except everything to everyone involved. Playing it, putting it on, coaching it, executing it, watching it, being fans for it. Kudos to the players for pouring it all out there and actually saying, we'll forego a week off and put their bodies on the line.
Yep.
Some of these guys who played in this tournament will not be de facto start of the second half of the NHL season, which, by the way, is tomorrow. Some of these guys won't be available because they'll be in cold tubs. They'll be checking out the Epsom salts if they're lucky. They put it all out there. And for that, I say thank you. It means that much to you. Now I'm invested emotionally and potentially financially to start buying in and going to see these guys play and going to watch their games. They should be rewarded for it. And last night, there was no dropping of gloves, just a dropping of puck. That's it. And it was as intense as any Game 7 you'll see. It goes to overtime.
Of course, it had to go to overtime. Right? Of course.
Come on. Yeah. And then, just.
And then the way it ended, it had to end like.
Well, one of the stars of stars, the arguably greatest star on the planet playing the sport. And I know what I'm saying, who I'm including or excluding in that, but Connor McDavid, by the way, wide ass open in the slot, too.
That was an oh no moment.
Oh, God, right. Slow motion. I mean, because how is you'd be lucky if he misfired.
Not gonna happen.
Biscuit and basket.
Not from that.
Wins the face-off himself. Winds up with the initial shot that started the sequence that wound up with a puck on his stick. Wide ass open in front of the net.
And when it felt the opposite was going to happen, USA was just pummeling the Canada goalie with shots and shots and shots. A point-blank shot that thought you were going to win it, minutes before. It felt like it was going to go USA's way. And then, bam, it was over like that.
First 5 shots was all U.S.
Yeah, U.S. scored first. Canada scored first, and then Canada scored the final 2 goals of the tournament. And took a deficit and turned it into an overtime win. And, McKinnon was just spectacular, right? He's the Four Nations MVP. And Team USA looked great, too. Are there any more Kachucks? Can we find out? Can we get more? Can we make more?
Can always make more.
I guess.
Gotta talk to Mama Kachuk.
I don't know. No. Let's get more Kachucks because they're great to watch. They're just great to root for. And there's no other way to say it. It's awesome.
Man. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats to them. And in terms of inventions, like recent sports inventions, I'm serious. I put it up there with the pylon cam.
This is where we're going. Okay.
This is where I'm going.
Yeah.
Because in this day and age, how can you reimagine anything now?
Right.
Right. Listen, TV networks always try to reimagine things. Every single TV network that puts on a Super Bowl now unveils the new graphics package that just makes it feel even weirder that it's the final game of an NFL season that you hope is never going to end.
Well, going back 30 years, the Fox box, that kind of changed everything. Putting the time and score always on.
And the strike zone?
Yeah, the strike zone, the strike zone box.
Made
it easier for us to complain about what's a ball, what's a strike.
The first down line that's unofficial. The yellow line is always unofficial.
The highlighted puck.
That
didn't go over well.
That was a disaster.
That's on the opposite end of the Four Nations face-off. But for them to do this, and to have it richly rewarded by it meaning so much to the players and the coaching staffs and the fans, it's just incredible, just spectacular, and everyone else should take note. I know PK Subban is getting a lot of run for what he has said on the airwaves of ESPN, and how NBA players should take note about making a relationship with the fans by doing this sort of thing and having it work out. And he's not wrong. I don't know. Again, the NBA should absolutely do the United States versus the world, expand their rosters next year, and take the week off. And NBA players is just like, hey, I hate to say it, but tough, right? Tough. But it's never going to happen. I can't see it. But also USA versus the world. It's not a week-long tournament. It's just one game on a Sunday. This was a week plus off for the NHL, and they spent it by saying, okay, United States, Canada, let's go Finland, let's go Sweden, let's give the Russians the week off, and you stay home. because, the NHL is still anti-communist. Hey, listen, you talk about the miracle on ice, right? Russians, are the... I can't believe I got to remind people, they're the bad guys.
They're the bad guys. They will always be the bad guys.
Well, I mean, we're talking about, Ruzioni came out last night.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, in the Johnny Hockey sweater, Johnny Gaudreau, who went to BC in the area, and we all know he and his brother got mowed down by a drunk driver in one of the most tragic stories you will ever hear. Apparently, Johnny's wife was there last night, too. Oh, wow. I mean, for Eruzione to come out and be the Team USA captain, and Gretzky's out there, too. I mean, they checked every box of nationalism and excitement, and I can't rave about it enough.
Yeah, and for something that might end up being a one-off. Like, this is...
Really? That would be a bummer.
I think they've said they're going back to the traditional all-star format next year, but I don't know how you ditch this after the success
next year, if I'm not mistaken, the 05, the 25-26 season.
Well, they're taking a break for Olympics.
Right. So the actual, worldwide tournament is going to be played with NHL players, so I'd kind of understand that, but then let's run it back the year after that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Right? And then let's have the NBA take a week off. I'd say USA, Canada, and then France. And then, I don't know, you make up an Eastern European team?
Maybe you go the rest of the world. I mean, look, Australia's
got some players.
10, I think, players. Yeah. Maybe you go the rest of the world. I don't know.
Where it would be Luka and
6-team round robin, maybe
6-team. That wouldn't be bad.
6-team round robin,
and then the top 2 make it.
Yeah,
and then maybe they keep what they have in the All-Star game now with the points, right? Like game the 40, game the 50. Make it.
You do it. Make it like
if you're going to do the whole week, then no.
Well, hold on a second. Maybe Adam Silver went on DP's show and talked about 10-minute quarters, remember?
Yeah.
And then got a lot of pushback there.
Well, maybe do that for this.
Maybe do that for this.
For the Six Nations or something.
But then I'm watching this hockey game yesterday, right? And I'm starting to think, like, I don't know why we've never discussed this before. Like, why doesn't basketball, this would be kind of funny, take some of these hockey rules? Like, not every foul, but if you commit a certain type of foul, not only do you get the foul, but now you have to sit out. Now the other team has a 5-on-4 advantage.
Like a minute penalty or something?
Yeah, just what if you actually...
power play in basketball.
Yeah, what if you actually do that? Like a certain type of foul, okay, now you're a minute. So now you might have to run 5-on-3 for 2-3 minutes,
Didn't we also see a man advantage in Hoosiers? But that was the coach who
that was only
put 4 on the floor. Right?
Voluntarily.
That was voluntarily. Coach Dale was trying to rethink the way of coaching your team.
Just last night I was thinking, how exciting would that be if you had to go run 5-on-4?
Maybe if you get teed up, you got to sit for 2 minutes.
Yeah, just something.
You could red card a baseball player.
You have to play without a fielder?
You got to play without a fielder.
Center
Eight guys
is wide
out. 8 guys in
open,
the field.
Stan. Look at that hole down the third baseline.
What if we hockified other sports?
We're trying to reimagine. We're trying to reimagine. Because right now, the NHL they nailed it. Look at us talking about it. Yeah, I know, right?
It's what we do.
This is what we do.
I think it was incredible. Awesome. Right?
It was awesome.
Yeah, and you know how I feel about Pylon Camp.
It was great.
I mean, like this is the highest praise I can offer.
And what you said about the athletes actually carrying
that's it.
That really
that's the most important thing.
I think I told you guys, years ago I used to be this Cowboys fan who we lose on Sunday. I'm mad till Wednesday. I'm probably breaking the cup. And then I would see guys at the post-game press conferences, and it didn't seem like they cared. And after a while, I was like, all right, maybe you care a little too much.
Yep.
And I'm just saying, like, so as a fan, you want to make sure that the guys care as much as you do. And it has nothing to do with the Cowboys. You could be a fan of any team, Rich, like the Jets, for instance.
Why are you saying that?
Well, because you're pulling this thing out.
Well, I mean,
it's not about
just
me.
sign it. If you don't, just sign it. Just sign the release of fandom. It's sitting right here. It could be notarized by an actual notary.
And then I'll consider signing that one. At least I do have championships to remember.
Just sign it,
guys. It's
just
Friday.
sign it.
It's
just
a happy
sign it.
Friday.
Just sign it.
Happy
Just sign it.
Friday.
Since you let me be the RES notary,
yes,
I took the liberty, I hope you don't mind, of adding myself to the RES graphic.
Oh, really?
You got that, Hoskins?
Whoa. Wow.
You're
Wait a
calling
second,
for
bro.
graphics.
It's well deserved.
I guess I called for it too soon.
Oh, you
I messed it up.
Still loading.
First of all, how do you
Just
just add yourself?
Stick to
something?
audio, man. We got it? Is it coming? Here it comes. There it is. Oh, wait a minute. You're on the lampshade?
I love lamp. That is a little. I don't know if we should send that out to clients, man.
That is.